Hey everybody, it's Jim of Animateducated. Today you're going to learn how to do a simple pendulum swing using harmony. I'm going to put this up. I have this for my animation class, learning about the principles of ease-ins and ease-outs, and how to do a cycle, and how to move things in with an arc, moving it not in a straight line, but in a curved line like that, and a few other principles as well. So check this out. Right here, rectangle. But if you go like that, you can see there's different types of things. So I'm going to do is ellipse. I'm use an ellipse. And we're going to make a circle and hold down the shift key and pull out a circle like that. And then I'm going to make a line. And from the line, I'm going to also hold down the shift key and pull this out like that. All right, so you can see down here, I have one drawing. I'm going to back this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, just kind of lasso it and then let it go. And when this happens, every time you have, this is the vector drawing, and every time you have a vector drawing, it places the pivot point right in the middle. So you'll see that when I pivot this, it pivots in the middle, which is not where I want the pivot to be. I want the pivot to be way up here. So what I can do is I'm going to copy this right now. This is on number 2. So this is 1 and 2 frames, okay, of this. So I'm going to Control C to copy it. And I'm going to go to the 3rd frame and I'm going to paste it. Now I have onion skin down here, right there. You can turn that on. And I'm now going to move that pivot point by clicking on the that when I get near the pivot point, it makes a little tiny P there. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to move it. Click it. Oops. Yeah, I moved it up here. I'm going to click it again and put it right at the top, that pivot point, about like that. And then I'm going to make this one go over here. Now it's going to start over here. It's going to swing this way, and it's going to go over here. Okay, and then it's going to swing back. So I have to make each one of these as an individual drawing. Okay, so I don't want it to be way up here. That's too high. We just want it to be maybe about that high. That's fine. So there's that. And now I'm going to make a copy of this again. Copy it. And I'm going to go somewhere, maybe on the 10th frame. I'm going to paste it. Now, I can, down here on your timeline, there's these little triangles. You can pull the triangle this way, and now you can see those drawings. So I'm going to flip this drawing by going over here and going to transform. See, it says flip horizontal. So when I flip it, it flips the drawing, but it doesn't flip it at the right place. See, it's way over there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move this over and line it up so it's right next to there. So now it looks like it's going to be kind of traveling down into the middle and then up and then back like that. So these are basically your key poses, okay? And they're not in the right place on the frames right now, because you notice I have the first one in the middle. I've got this one here. After that, it's way over there, and then it's way over here. So what I'm going to do is rearrange this to make this right. So we're going to make this like a second. So I'm going to actually take this one here. Sorry, this one here. And I'm going to copy it. and I'm going to copy that frame right there, and I'm put it on 24. So right here is 22, and this is 24. You can see the frame 24, and I'm going to paste it right here because that's where it's going to end up going. Okay. Might move this a little farther over, but just to begin with, I'm just trying to put these in order. Okay, so that's in the middle, but that's where it's supposed to be. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a little hole in here by just putting your cursor there, and then we're going to push delete, and it deletes it. Makes a little hole in your timeline, you see? So right there, no drawing. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to copy him. And I'm going to paste him kind of in the middle. Paste. Okay. Again, we're just trying to set this up. All right. So we don't really need this one anymore. We have it in the middle. As long as we have it in the middle, we're okay. If you want to, you can always take certain drawings like this, and you can pull them over outside of your frame rate and just put it there. And then you'll always have it. If you need it, you can go back to it and get it. So here, I'm going to pull this back, and we're going to start kind of breaking this down. Okay. So right now, we've got the key poses. It goes to here, it goes to there, and then it's going to go back to this. But we need to put this one again in the middle. All right. I'm not sure exactly where to put that quite yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of figuring out how to get my drawing of this to here. Okay, and just deal with that at the beginning. Okay, now it's a pendulum, and when pendulums swing back and forth, when they start to go back up, they slow down, and then they reverse direction. They go a little faster, and they come back going pretty fast through here. Up to here, they slow down, they change direction, go back. So we're going to just animate this pendulum going through to here, and then we're going to reverse all that, okay, with our drawings. So the first thing to do is to look at these two drawings here and figure out a good midpoint. All right, so right at the beginning, you've got this one here, and then you've got a whole bunch of these. So I'm going to delete that one drawing there so I can put this in here. So I'm going to actually copy this one here. And the reason why I'm copying this here on the stage rather than just copying the frame is because I want to make this drawing its own drawing, its own thing here. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it here. Now it's going to go right back in the beginning, but remember that pendulum, right? That little pivot point. I'm going to click on the pivot point, and we're going to move it up like that. And now we're going to put this halfway in the middle. And when I do that, it's at an arc. See, it's actually moving in an arc. So I'm going to put it kind of in the middle here. Something like this will be fine. Okay, so the spacing is pretty even. You see, so it's going from there to there to there. All right. Okay, so I do have one here too. So I'm going to put another one in there too. So in this case, I want to make sure I don't mess this up. Right here, I'm going to delete that frame by pushing delete. And then I'm going to, two things I could do. I could go back to this one and highlight it and move the pivot point. Or I could do this. I can go to this one here and I can highlight it. I can copy it, Control C to copy, and then go to that little space where there's nothing is right there. And I can paste it, Control V to paste. And now I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to right click And I get this information, and right here, transform, that's what I want. And I'm going to go to flip horizontal, and it flips it. But see, it's in the wrong place. So I have to kind of grab this and kind of fit it in the middle. And it should be the same as the other one. And if it isn't, if you don't like that, you want it a little bit closer or something, you know, you can move that pivot point up to where it's supposed to be. Sometimes it goes way up here. I'm going to put it right in the middle like that, best I can. And then, you know, I can rotate a little bit more this way if I want to, or this way, whatever. But that's pretty good. I'm going to leave it like that. All right, so now you can see we've got basically one move right there, right? So if I went back and forth like this, it would look like a pendulum swinging, right? But there's no what's called ease in and ease out. That's when things slow down, change speed, and go the other way. Okay, so right now we've got the main poses here, which is fine. And now we're just going to add a little extra to the beginning of this. And we can keep this stuff the same. This can be the same. And then what we'll do is we'll just add a couple more drawings up to here so it slows down. So let's start with this one over here. What we're going to do is we're just going to go to the end of this one, and we're going to push delete. And now if we look at these two, you can see there they are. What I can do is just kind of take this one here, copy it, Control C, go to that empty space right there, and we're going to put this in the middle. So I'm going to do that. See, we're going to move that pivot point up to where it should go, like right in the middle there, right? Just as best you can at the line. All right, and then we're just going to rotate it. So you can rotate this and put it just kind of, make those lines kind of line up in the middle. See, it's overlapping. The ball's overlapping. The lines are in the middle. So that's good. We got that one. So if I were to show you as a chart what's going on here, it would look something like this. So this is P1. And what we're trying to do is we're making this slowly get faster. The spacing is increasing, you see. So I'm going to do like 3 of these. So I'm going to label these on 2s. So this will be 1, this will be 3, this will be 5, this will be 7, and this will be 9. Okay, there's 9. All right, so 9 would actually probably be this one over here. So if we made this one 7, right? Okay, this could be 9. And then that would make this one, let's make this one P11. And then we'll make this one P13. And then we'll figure this out. So we want at P13, now we want the pendulum to slow down. Okay, so this is what that would look like, right in half, right? So if you think about this, this would be 13, and I'm going to do 3 of these. So I'm going to have it slow down. Basically, it's going in half, in half, in half, like that. So we got 15, we got 17, we got 19, and we got 21 right there. So this one will be 21. All right. So these are charts. These are timing charts. And this is showing you that this is an ease. We're easing out, right? Ease out, which means it's like you're at the stop sign in your car and you're slowly leaving, you know, you're entering the intersection. So you're not going 50 miles an hour. You're starting off very, you know, two 2, 4, 5, 10 miles per hour. I'm starting to speed up. Okay. And then all through here is the constant motion. So all these are equal. This is like constant speed. Okay. And through here. And then it's going to slow up when it goes up here. So let's do this. All right. So we got 7 already. So there's 7. So we're just going to go back to this. And we're going to delete that so we can see it. We still have this in memory. So I can control V to paste and it'll be the same thing. And so now all I have to do is go up to my select tool and pull that pivot point up to where the pivot point is up there. And I'm going to put that in half like that. You see? So now it's perfectly in half. And that one's going to be number 5. Okay. So there's an in between right there. And then we're going to go up here to this one. We're going to delete it. We're going to still have it in memory. So you control V to paste. And now we're just going to push the select tool at the top, that arrow. And we're going to go over here, put this at the top of the pendulum. And we're going to move this in the middle, kind of like that. There we go. So there's what an ease in looks like. See how it speeds up? It speeds up. Now, since I did this, all I have to do is do the reverse of this over here. And that's the various ways you can do that. You can probably take each one of these things and just flip them and put them in between these two, this one and this one. And you could do that. Sorry, this one and this one. There we go. You can do it that way, or you can just click on it and move it if you like. It's up to you. All right. So here we're holding this. We're not going to, we're just going to put the drawings down first, and then we're going to figure out the timing. Okay, because this is on 1s, and we might use that, or we might use this on 2s. It's up to you. So, okay, so what we're going to do is just get the rest of these. Okay, so I'm going to do it 2 different ways. I'm going to show you if you take this one and this one, and I'm in the middle there, so I'm going to delete this key right here. And I have that in I'm going to go back to this one here. I'm going to select it like this. I'm going to copy it, Control C to copy. I'm going to move back to that blank frame right there and Control V to paste. And now I'm going to put that little pivot point, pull it up to where it is up here. And I'm going to pull it back down and put it in the middle. Remember, it's overlapping, you see? That's the in-between, between the 2 keys. And that one is going to be known as, that's 15. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that down so you can see. This is 15. Usually put a line under that just to let you know if you went to lunch and you said, here, just do some in-betweens for me from this to this, they would know what to do. They saw that chart. Okay, so basically this is what's happening. He's going from here, going to 15, and now we're going to go to the next one, and we're going to delete this, and we still have it in, we have a copy of this already in memory, so you can push Control V to paste. It pastes it over here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to that selection arrow and click that. We're going to move that little pivot point up to there. And we're going to go out here and just slightly move it this way. Okay, so it's in the middle. So we're slowing it down. So we'll go to this one now. We'll delete that one. And we've got it in pivot. We still have it in memory. That's what's nice about this. Control V to paste. It's pasted it. You can take that little pivot point, pull it up to there, and then you can pull this down slightly in between the 2. You can favor the one that, if you want, the one that's stopping, you can do that if you like. doesn't matter, but there we go. So right now we have a good pendulum swing where it slowly gets faster and then it slows down here. And that's it right there. Now, it's not in the right place. I mean, it's working, that works, but we only have it going one direction like that. So we're going to have it go this way, and then we're going to put the other drawings there to reverse it, okay? And this is where I'm going to decide how long am I going to hold it. So like if it goes over here, how long does it hold for it to see it hanging here? So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, okay? And all this is on ones. So what we can do is sometimes when you're slowing down, you can actually add more frames here. So I'm going to add like another frame of this one, and I can do it various ways. I can click on the frame like this. I can go up to exposure, and I can set that to 2, and that makes it 2 frames. So I have 2 frames of this drawing right here, and then it starts to go this way. Okay, so that kind of slows it down even more. That's going pretty fast with the ones, and they're like that. Okay, and then it's going to come up to here. And since it's going to be holding here for 5 frames, we want it to be holding on the other side as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's say if it's going to be here, so here I didn't, let me just show you this first of all. So this one is 15. So this is 17 right here. And so you can see P17. And then this one here would be P19. And then we got P21. And so we're going to keep this all the same. So this, if this is going to be 4 frames or 5 frames, 5 frames, we need this to be on 5 frames. So that's 1, 2, oops. 1, 2. Oh, you're not moving today. That's interesting. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's on 5. Okay, now we're going to reverse this. So on number 6, we're going to delete it. And now this is the easy part. You just work backwards. It's a little bit of a cut and paste kind of situation, which means that you have to kind of make sure that, okay, if it's holding here, I'm going to go back to 19, which is here. And again, it starts off here for 2 frames, right? 2 frames, and then it goes to 1 frame, 1 frame, and all that. So I'm just going to do the same thing here for 19. I'm going to make 2 frames by just going Shift plus. That gives me 2 frames of that. And I can rearrange these timings later. But okay, so that's what we want. So we have 2 frames of that. So I can copy these 2 frames here by clicking on the frame, holding down the Shift key, holding it down. So now I've highlighted 2 frames there. Control C to copy. And I'm going to put it right in here, 2 frames. And when I do that, it looks like it only made, well, it made a bunch of frames of this. So I have like 5 frames of this. All right, but that's okay. I can reduce that by just going to minus key. See, it minuses. And then it's going to go to this one here, which is the wrong one. So I'm going to just delete that one. And I'm going to work backwards now. So that's 19. So this is 17. So I'm going to copy that one, copy it, put it there, paste it. Now see, it's jumping ahead because there's another frame here. So it's giving me like 4 or 5 of these. So all I have to do is reduce that by doing minus, 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 minus. So I only have 1 frame of 17 now. This is kind of in the way. So I don't need this right now. So I'm just going to delete it completely and just go back and just do it this way. Now, the thing about what I'm doing now, and this might be more advanced, But you notice I'm copying frames from my timeline, which means if I go to this 19, the original 19 here, and I make a star on it, you'll notice that when I go to 21 and I go to this 19, turn that off, and we go to this 19, it makes the same star. That's because that I'm copying this frame exactly. So whatever's on that frame, it's going to do that. So here's a thing you can do too. If you know that you might change this somehow and you don't want to add something to it, whatever, you can do this. So this is 17, right? So that's the exact duplicate of this one. So if I put a star here, you know, you'll see that it's way over here. Now watch what happens when I go to 17 and I go to the next one, 15. Instead of copying this frame down the timeline, what I'm going to do is just highlight it, select it up here like that, copy it, and I'm going to paste it right there. Now the thing about this is I didn't select the what it was, okay? But now this thing here, which is actually 15, which is this one here. So see, if I make a star on this one, right? Since I didn't copy it from the timeline, I copied it from the stage area. You notice that when I go to this 15, that thing isn't there. Nothing's there. Okay, so I'm just going to make that 15. So this is something to think about whenever you're working, and try not to copy these, because if you copy these, there's just gonna, if you change the one that you copied, it's going to change the first one. All right. So that's sometimes a problem. But now you know. All right. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. I'm going to grab all this stuff. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to the timeline here, and I'm going to paste it there. Then I'm going to go back down here. That's where it was. I'm going to grab this one, grab all that stuff, copy it, put that there, paste it. Same thing. Just going down the street, just reversing all this stuff. There's 9. Copy it, paste it. And then just make sure you're going to the next one, 7. Copy it. Paste it. And then we got 7, 5. Copy it. Paste it. And then you're going to the next one. That's 5. There's this is actually 3. I didn't write that down. So let's go ahead and put that down. 3. Okay. Select. Copy it. Paste it. Now, the 3 down here is 2. So I'm going to make 2 frames of 3 by just going Shift plus. It makes 2 frames. Shift plus adds drawings, you see? And if you want to minus, you can just hit minus, 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 and it takes them away. So there we have 3 of that, and then we're going to go right back to this. Now the thing is, we've got 5 frames of this, and I don't have to put this at the at the end of this, because this is what's called a cycle, we're actually going to have this go like this. It's going to go back the same way. And when it comes to here, it's going to pop back to the beginning. So what we're going to do is take that little red, see this little red thing here? This is it, kind of ends the whole scene. Otherwise, if I do this, it's going to go out to here and hold and show all this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that red thing all the way back down, right about there, making sure that we have 2 frames of that. So you only have 1 frame. If you can't see this, there's a little thing down here, a little magnifying glass. You can pull this like that. You can see more. And then you can pull this back. And there it is. That's 2 frames of this. And then it's going to go back to number 1. And let's see, we have, there it is, 5 frames of that. So when we play it at speed, right now it's holding here for 5 frames. It's going for here for 2 frames. It's going here for 1 frame. It slows down at 2 frames. It holds for 5 frames. It holds for 2 frames, just barely here, and then it goes right back to this. And it looks something like this. When we push this button here to play it over and over, a loop, we can play it and we can see it, how it looks. And there is a nice pendulum swing. And the reason why we want to get this pendulum to have some spacing, have some time left, so it just doesn't go from here to there to the, back and forth fast like that. We want it to hold here a little longer, because what we're going to do later on, we're going to put, what you could do is you could put a tail on a different layer, and you could have this tail hanging off of this pendulum. So when the pendulum swings this way, it pulls the tail and the tail follows it. So it's a kind of a follow through overlapping animation, which is one of the principles of animation. And we're going to be doing that in the ball bounce. But this is basically all you have to do to set this up. And here you're learning about how an object speeds up as it goes this way. You're learning about arcs. You notice how the ball is moving kind of in an arc. It's not moving straight across back and forth. It's arcing, and that's one of the principles of animation that helps with drawing and animating, is to keep your things moving in an arc rather than straight ahead, unless it's a mechanical thing, So here we go. If we just play it again, you can see there's what it looks like. And of course, later on, what you could do is, you could remove all these, just go in and take out all these timings, just delete them, and you'll still have your animation. And the one thing you should definitely do here is just tap this here. So you have drawing. You can tap it twice and you could type in the word pendulum. You want to make sure you start learning how to label your layers. And then here at this little plus sign says add layers. You can click on what's called a color card. And now, I know it looks a little funny like that, but if you click above that, it just puts a white card on here. You'll notice there's no spacing here. There's nothing here that indicates that. Down here on the color card, you do see these little things like that, but you're not going to see that in the actual render. If you didn't have a color card that looked like this, right down here, you see this thing that says Open GL View? That's what your camera sees. So if I go to this one here, Render View, it's going to show me what the camera sees. And right now, the camera sees a blank window and a bunch of dark lines on that window, and you can't see it. So if you render this out and it's totally black and you're like shaking your head, why is that happening? Check to see if the color card is there. See, if I turn on this color card, now what happens is if we turn on this render view right here, that's what I see. Okay. Now the thing about the render view, you can't really scroll through here. You can't scroll through here and see stuff. You can let go and then it'll pop up. You can click like that, but it's really hard to see any motion here, especially if you try to play it. You're not going to see it. Notice that? Because it's in render view. It needs to render all this out frame by frame. It can't do that. So that's what this OpenGL thing right here, this little flower next to it. Now you can do this. It can figure all that out before and show it to us. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. You have any questions about this? Again, there's the onion skin. If you don't want to see onion skin, you can click on it and it'll turn it off. You can turn it back on right here. And you can see how the spacing is being used right there to show the motion, how this works. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration about the pendulum swing. Very simple thing showing the principles of using the arc movement, how to do in-betweens, how to set up key poses, how to do timing charts, how to do ease in and ease outs, and holding an object, things like that. And if you enjoyed this in any way, please press that button to subscribe or leave a comment below. Got other videos down there you might be interested in, and here's a couple you might be interested in now. And we'll see you next time on Animated Educated.